What if I told you that an NBA All-Star once known for scoring 60 points on Kobe's Lakers just got indicted for running illegal poker games out of his California mansion? Gilbert Arenas, a name once synonymous with electrifying basketball and jaw-dropping performances, is now back in the headlines, but for all the wrong reasons. Once hailed as Agent Zero, the fearless guard who took the NBA by storm in the mid-2010s, Arenas now faces federal charges tied to an underground gambling ring allegedly hosted right in his luxury Los Angeles home. In this video, we'll unravel how Gilbert Arenas went from NBA superstardom to facing years in federal prison. We'll explore his explosive rise, controversial past, the mysterious poker empire he built, and whether this is the final chapter in a legacy full of twists. Stick around because what you're about to hear is as wild as it sounds. To understand how Gilbert Arenas ended up here, you have to go back to where it all started. Born in Tampa, Florida, raised in California, Gilbert wasn't the top recruit. He wasn't born into stardom. At Grant High School, he was talented but overlooked, known more for his hustle than for dominance. It wasn't until college at Arizona that his name started to buzz. Still, when draft night came in 2001, he didn't hear his name until the second round, pick number 31. Most teams saw him as too small, too wild, too risky. That chip on his shoulder would define everything that came next. He hit the NBA like a storm, first with the Golden State Warriors, where he shocked scouts by winning Most Improved Player in just his second year. But it was with the Washington Wizards that Gilbert Arenas became Agent Zero. He wasn't just good, he was explosive. He danced, he trash-talked, he hit buzzer beaters and walked off the court before the ball even hit the net. He scored 60 points in a single game against Kobe Bryant. He once dropped 54 on Steve Nash and the Phoenix Suns, and through it all, he made fans believe in swagger again. But behind the swagger, there was volatility. The same fire that made him unstoppable also made him dangerous on and off the court. In December 2009, everything changed. Inside the Washington Wizards locker room, Gilbert got into a dispute with teammate Javaris Critton over a gambling debt. Yes, gambling was involved even then. What started as trash talk escalated into something darker. Arenas reportedly brought multiple unloaded guns into the locker room, laid them out near Critton's locker, and dared him to pick one. The story went viral, but what many didn't know was that Critton allegedly responded by pulling a loaded weapon in return. The incident sent shockwaves through the league. NBA Commissioner David Stern handed down an indefinite suspension, ending Arenas' season and tarnishing his career. He lost endorsements, he became a punchline. Even when he returned to the NBA, the magic was gone. Injuries, trades, and public perception chipped away at what was once greatness. By 2013, he was done. But Arenas wasn't. Not really. Post-retirement, Gilbert Arenas did something few ex-athletes manage. He made himself relevant again. But this time, it wasn't with a ball. It was with a mic. Through Instagram, podcasts, and especially No Chill Gil, Arenas found an audience that craved his raw honesty. He didn't filter anything. He told wild stories from the locker room, clowned on younger players, and reminded people that he was still that guy. His charisma was magnetic. He wasn't just a basketball legend anymore. He was a content king. For fans, it was refreshing. For critics, it was reckless. But behind the laughs, something else was brewing. While fans tuned in for Gilbert's hot takes, federal investigators were building a case, and it wasn't about his podcast. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, from September 2021 to July 2022, Gilbert Arenas and 5 others operated a high-stakes underground poker ring from a luxurious mansion in Encino, California. This wasn't your Friday night poker game. This was high-rolling pot-limit Omaha games with tens of thousands in play, hosted in a private estate guarded by armed security, serviced by chefs, valets, and young women who offered drinks, massages, and sometimes more. The mansion had custom-built poker tables branded as Arenas Poker Club. Guests were wealthy, powerful, and discreet. They were lured by luxury and kept loyal by silence. Prosecutors allege that Arenas collected rent from the game's profits, took a rake from each pot, and helped coordinate events through a network of assistants and partners. One of those partners was Yevgeny Gershman, a suspected organized crime figure with connections to international gambling circuits. Another, Eugene Krachun, allegedly served as a chip runner, transporting funds and poker chips throughout the house. Arthur Katz was the man behind the scenes, managing logistics, techs, and player communication. Each role was vital and each person, now indicted. On July 30, 2025, Gilbert Arenas was arrested and charged with 3 serious federal crimes. Conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business. Operating an illegal gambling business. Making false statements to federal investigators. The maximum penalty? 5 years per count. That's up to 15 years behind bars. According to court documents, when first confronted, Arenas downplayed his involvement. But prosecutors say they have evidence, text messages, financial records, even photographs of the custom tables that show he was deeply involved in organizing and profiting from the games. But the story doesn't end there.
Get the attention you deserve with a custom neon sign. We offer handmade neon signs. Our process is simple. Visit our website, glonio.com, and click Custom Neon Builder for an on-demand experience. Start typing your custom text, choose a font, color, and size. We will handle the rest by handcrafting your LED neon. We also produce high-quality neons to match your business logo by completing the form on our Business Neons page.
Most celebrities, when arrested, go silent. They call lawyers. They lay low. Not Gilbert. Just hours after being released on a $50,000 bond, he posted a video of himself dancing, literally dancing to a hip-hop track in his living room. The caption? "They can't hold me." It went viral. Fans laughed. Critics winced. Was this Gilbert being Gilbert, the forever jokester refusing to take anything seriously? Or was it a calculated move to control the narrative? The post split public opinion. Some fans defended him. "He's always been different," one commenter wrote. "They're just trying to take another black man down." Others were less sympathetic. "You're not above the law," another replied. This isn't a game show. But perhaps the most haunting part of all of this is how familiar it feels. Arenas has always danced close to the fire. The Yapoo gun incident, the gambling beef with Crittenton, the social media outburst. Now, a poker empire built in shadows. There's a pattern here, a cycle of brilliance and collapse. A man who thrives in chaos but always lets that chaos consume him. Just when he gets back on top, he finds a way to bring himself down again. Some call it immaturity, others call it trauma. But no matter what label you use, the consequences are always the same. This time, however, the consequences might be permanent. His trial is scheduled for September 23, 2025. Until then, he's free on bond, but one guilty verdict could erase everything he's rebuilt. This is the moment where legacy hangs in the balance. Gilbert Arenas was never a role model in the traditional sense. He was a disruptor, a rebel, a once-in-a-generation scorer who played with the confidence of a villain and the heart of a kid who had something to prove. But basketball fans have short memories, and in the world of sports, redemption is only real when it's earned. Now, as Gilbert faces a potential 15-year sentence, the question becomes, what will define him? Will it be the 60-point game against Kobe? The buzzer beaters and all-star moments? The man who turned podcasting into a second act? Or will it be the poker tables, the surveillance tapes, and a mansion full of whispered deals and raked pots? The clock is ticking. The judge will decide, but public opinion is forming now and fast. Gilbert Arenas always said he wasn't meant to follow anyone else's path. He carved his own, sometimes with genius, sometimes with recklessness. This latest chapter isn't just a scandal, it's a reminder of how fragile greatness can be. How quickly success can turn into tragedy when ego, power, and impulse collide. But maybe there's still one last play in Gilbert's playbook. Maybe he beats the charges. Maybe he tells his side of the story. Maybe, just maybe, there's one more chapter we haven't read yet. Or maybe, this is how it ends. What do you think? Is Gilbert Arenas being unfairly targeted, or did he knowingly gamble with everything? Do you believe he deserves another shot, or has he crossed the line too far this time? Let us know your thoughts in the comment. We're reading, everyone. And if you found this deep dive into the rise and fall of Gilbert Arenas compelling, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more cinematic basketball stories, and turn on notifications because we've got more stories coming that you won't believe. This is latest hoops, where legends are born, fall, and maybe rise again.